Hey, have you heard? At this school there are seven wonders, and the most famous is the seventh wonder, Hanako-san of the toilet. They say if you go to the third stall of the girls' bathroom on the third floor of the old school building, you'll find Hanako-san, who grants a wish to anyone who summons her. However, in exchange, she states something precious. To call her, you need to knock 3 times and call her name. Hanako-san, Hanako-san, are you there? Hi! Welcome to the Kitsuden. I'm Kitsu, and here I dive deep into anime episodes with summaries and key dialogues. If you love reliving your favorite scenes or catching up on what you missed, you're in the right place. Today, we are diving into the weird, spooky, and somehow adorable world of Jibaku Shounen Hanako-kun, or Toilet-Bound Hanako-kun. We start with our protagonist, Nene Yashiro, summoning Hanako to make her wish come true. Side note, the real-life urban legend of Hanako-san varies across Japan. Sometimes she's a girl who died hiding during a narrate, or someone murdered her in the bathroom, or even in a suite because of a bully or something. Yeah, you get the idea. It's dark. Anyway, Nene-chan wants her crush, Teru Minamoto-senpai, to fall in love with her. And of course, he's our handsome popular boy. But to her surprise, she's not met with a bobby hair growing red. No. Hanako is actually a boy dressed in an old-style school uniform, with 2 floating spirit orbs hovering around him. Hanako offers to help her using a book titled "100 Methods of Love." It's safer than using his full supernatural powers. Those come with a hefty price. He asks what she's good at, and Nene-chan says, "Gardening." Why gardening? Well, it turns out she had a crush before and tried to become more feminine for him, learning how to cook, sew, and grow plants. But when she confessed, the boy was horrified. Didn't know her and reject her, saying she was not his type because of her so-called daikon legs. It's reddish, like reddish legs. Yeah, for Nene-chan. She's insecure about it now. So they try out some of the 100 love methods, but all the attempts failed. Nana-chan gets frustrated. Like, why summon a ghost if he's just giving a device you could just find in a magazine, right? Hanako, a little flustered, suggests she should just confess. He admits he's not experienced in this area. It's not every day he gets summoned after all. Nana-chan is not having it. She demands he help properly, and he starts digging through his pockets. He finds a kokeshi doll. It's a cute Japanese wooden doll, and accidentally spills his things everywhere, including a tiny seal pouch. In this pouch, there were mermaid scales. Hanako explains, they are cursed, matchmaking charms. If you and someone else swallow one, you're both cursed. But bound by an unbreakable connection. But before he can fully explain, she swallows one out of frustration. Damn girl, wait for the explanation. And after all that talk about paying the price of using his powers. Anyway, she runs off to find Teru-senpai to give him the second scale. But when she sees him turning down another girl's confession, saying he likes someone else, Nana-chan freezes. She thinks that it doesn't really matter if he likes somebody else as long as she has that scale. But she starts having second thoughts, and scales start appearing on her skin. Hanako swoops in and tosses her into a golden fish bowl. Nene-chan's now a fish. A cute one, but still a fish. Now, whenever she touches water, scales appear. If it spreads, she becomes a fish. Hanako explains, if she had shared the second scale, the curse would have been split. That's why they are matchmaking charms. You suffer together. Nene-chan realizes She didn't truly like Chiru-senpai. She just wanted someone to like her back. Then the mermaid appears, trying to claim Nene-chan as her servant. Hanako fights and defeats her, for now, but warns Nene-chan sternly. Crime won't save you. This is what happens when you mess with apparitions. I told you not to use it, didn't I? You big dummy. Still, since she didn't curse anyone else, Hanako offers her a wish to return to being human. But this time she will have to pay the price. She agrees, and that's why he says,
As for how you'll be paying me back, you'll use your body.
Naughty, naughty. He swallows the other mermaid's scale. Now, they are connected between the world of the living and the dead. He'll suppress the curse. In exchange, she becomes his assistant, helping him with the school apparitions and cleaning the girls' bathroom. What a deal, right? Also, thanks to this bond, Lena-chan can now touch him. Next up, a new rumor spreads. When something disappears from where you last left it, your pen, your brooch, your soul, cute, is the work of Yosei-san. But be aware, never look directly at Yosei-san, or you will lose your life. During class, the teacher asks Nene-chan to read the textbook. It's then that she noticed her stuff is missing. Aoi-chan, it's her fabulous, popular bestie, tells her about the rumor of Yosei-san. And suddenly, chaos! The locker doors have vanished. Something was thrown at Aoi-chan while she was holding a watering can, and splash! Nana-chan gets soaked and freaks out as the fish curse starts to activate. She ends up running to the old building and finds all the missing items. When she finds a mysterious room, and of course, she would open the door. Yosei-san appears. Just as he's about to strike, Hanako saves her. Turns out, Yosei-san is actually the Moke, adorable rabbit-like spirit, who usually just do harmless pranks, but when they attack something, they cluster together and they shapeshift. This time, people believed the rumor that they were dangerous, so they became dangerous. If an apparition doesn't match its rumor, it will vanish from the living world. Hanako's job is to maintain the balance between humans and apparitions. Murderous apparitions have to be eliminated, but if Nana-chan rewrites the rumor, she can save them. So she spreads a new rumor. If Yosei-san steals your stuff, give them candy. They will stop and you leave. Later, while Nene-chan and Hanako are chatting about her dream man falling from the sky, this girl is so little. A boy literally jumps off the roof and enter Ko Minamoto, an exorcist from a long line of spirity hunters. His goal is to exorcise Hanako. Nana-chan tries to protect Hanako and Ko calls him a murderer. We found out that Hanako did kill someone when he was alive, and his weapon is the same knife he carries now. Hanako doesn't deny it. He says that God told him if he fulfilled his role, all his sins would be absolved. After fighting Ko, Hanako defeats him, and Nana-chan says to hide Ko's staff. Hanako, intrigued, asks Nana-chan if she is worried about him, and Nana-chan replies, "Of course I was worried. You're my friend." To which Hanako coldly replies, "You can even befriend murderers, huh, Yashiro?" Dang. Nene-chan was shocked by his answer, but who wouldn't? The next day, Nene-chan and Aoi-chan are taking care of some plants in the classroom. And it's then that Aoi-chan tells her about the second wonder, Misaki Stairs. The rumor says, in the B stair in front of the art room, if you step on the fourth stair, you will be dragged into the spirit world and torn to pieces. At twilight, the stair drips with its victim's blood. After telling Nana-chan about the rumor, their teacher shows up in the classroom and calls for Aoi-chan for a meeting for a career counseling in their art room. The next day, Aoi-chan disappears. Her desk with the plants she cared for gone. No one remembers her, not even her own mother. That's when Nana-chan remembers her teacher calling Aoi-chan for career counseling in the art room. While searching for Hanako, Nana-chan bumps into a handsome guy whom we later learn now his name is Natsuhiko. This girl is already falling again and almost forgets everything around her. Get it together! He plants a paper crane on her, a black turtle. When she finally finds Hanako, Ko also shows up, yelling at him, saying that his friends are missing and nobody remembers them. Hanako then explains, Aoi and the other students were taken into the spirit world called boundaries. The boundaries are the seas between the shores of this life and the next, the world of ghosts and apparitions, with nowhere to go and things everyone has forgotten. If humans wander into the boundary, their whole existence is erased. They decided to meet at Misaki Stairs. Arriving there, they started counting the stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4. In Japanese, they say shi, which means four, but also means death. Genius, right? When they step on number 4, they are transported to the Misaki Stairs boundary. Inside the boundary, there were many doors and endless stairs that went all the way up to the sky. While walking and looking around, Ko asks frustrated to Hanako, wasn't I supposed to get shredded? Before getting to the boundary, Hanako said he would only protect Nene-chan, and Ko could get all shredded as he's not his assistant to protect. Hanako replies, he won't do it right away. Anything too quickly is boring, right? Isn't whittling away at someone little by little more fun? Then Hanako explains, as the 7 leaders of the school's apparitions, we need more humans to know about us. So we threaten them. Fun, nice things don't stick in your memory half as long as unpleasant, scary ones. Well, it's kinda true. A phone starts ringing. Nana-chan answers it, and it's a woman's voice. I'm Saki. I taught students in the schoolhouse at the top of the stairs, but I was a size up and died here. Find my body for me. First, my right arm. I use this hand to write with chalk. Hurry, the class begins soon. They must return parts of her body to a shrine altar. It's called Kamidana. It's a miniature household altar, so that the door can open and proceed to the next level. In each level, they must find a body part that she asks for and offer it before the time runs out. While searching for the right arm, Nene-chan finds an ultra super master padded brow, and he put his on. When the 3 meet again to check if we all have found the arm, Nene-chan starts to complain that they are not taken seriously, as they took the arm they liked. Ko found a muscle arm, and Hanako found a robot arm. However, they couldn't pay attention to her as she was wearing the Ultra Super Master Pedibra, and he fell. Girl, no! Anyway, the time ran out, and giant scissors were chasing them, and creepy dolls were attacking. It was chaotic, but they managed to offer an arm thanks to the monkey, who brought their arm to them. In the next level, Ko asks Hanako if number 2 has a weakness, and Hanako explains about Yorishiro. It turns out that each of the 7 school wonders has a weak spot in their boundaries called Yorishiro. The real meaning of Yorishiro in Japanese is that it is used in ceremonies to call kami, God, to worship. In the anime, Hanako explains that the Yorishiro are precious objects that give power to the 7 wonders. He compares it with batteries. Breaking it weakens the wonder and stops it from holding up its boundary. The Yorishiro are hidden deep within those boundaries, which makes sense since they need to be kept in the safest, most hard-to-reach places, right? They finally locate the last part and place it in the Kamidana. When the door swings open, they step into a room with water covering the floor, and they see all sorts of those parts floating around. As they look ahead, they spot someone or something and realize it's a doll made up of all the pieces they've been gathering, and the result, well, was not the best. A beautiful woman in a kimono walks in and greets them. At first, we think she might be Misaki, since her voice sounded just like the woman we heard on the phone. But later, we found out her name is Yako. She rushes over to the doll they created and tries to bring it to life, but things don't go as planned. Then Nene-chan asks where the other students are, and Yako responds, "The children who failed? Ah, they are all around you." That's when we see a pile of dolls' bodies, and one of them is Aoi-chan. Nene-chan goes after Aoi-chan's body when suddenly Yako attacks Nene-chan from behind with a huge pair of scissors. Just before she can reach Nene-chan, Ko rushes in to protect her and gets hit on the arm. His arm turns to plush, so anything that gets hit by the scissors turns into plush. While Ko is busy fighting Yako, Hanako takes a moment to explain to Nene-chan that Aoi-chan is actually still alive. He tells her that place is on the border between life and death. Nothing can be born or die here. Hearing this, Nene-chan tells him she'll do anything to help, and Hanako gives her a really creepy look and asks, "Anything?" Then he ties a rope around her and mentions that they are not at the deepest part of the place yet. He suggests that the Yorishiro might actually be at the bottom, not at the top, and then he suddenly pushes her off the edge before he runs off to help Ko. Nanacha found herself in a different place, near a shrine. While there, she stumbled upon a book that looked a lot like Yako's diary. The first entry was written by a child, most likely Yako when she was younger, and it revealed that she used to scare other kids back then. It turned out that Misaki was actually her teacher. He came to the shrine every day to help her learn to read and write. One of the pages in the diary mentioned how he cut her hair and gave her the scissors. She chose to keep those scissors safe in the shrine, feeling really special since he had only given them to her, not to any of his other students. It's clear she had a crush on him. There was also a picture tucked inside the diary, featuring Misaki Sensei with his other students. He taught her daily until one day he just stopped showing up. Yako heard a rumor that a teacher had fallen down the stairs near the shrine and had died, but she didn't grasp what death really meant. She waited a long time for him to return until she finally realized he wouldn't be back. And that's when she decided to create Misaki Sensei. All of a sudden, while Nene-chan was lost reading, Yako showed up and hit her. That's when Hanako jumped in to defend Nene-chan. Hanako then asked if Nene-chan had figured out anything important about Yako. Nene-chan remembered a diary entry where she talked about scissors she had kept safe in the shrine. Without wasting any time, she ran to the shrine where the Yorishiro was, but Yako tried to block her way. Once Nene-chan made it, she was able to break the seal on the Yorishiro, which turned out to be the scissors that Misaki-sensei had given to Yako. As soon as she removed the seal, Hanako stepped in front of Yako and said, "Number 2 of the 7 wonders of the school, Misaki Stairs. You have abandoned your duty. I'll need you to return your seat." Then, he stabbed her, but she didn't die. After that, Nene-chan found herself in one of Yako's memories. It was a moment from when Yako was just a kid and Misaki-sensei was cutting her hair. He handed the scissors to her, and little Yako asked if there was any important occasion for that. He answered, "I'm taking a picture with my students today." Soon after, his students show up at the shrine, grumbling about needing to take a photo there because of a ghost girl that supposedly haunted the place. Misaki-sensei simply said it was the perfect spot. While all this was happening, Yako was hiding behind a statue, and everyone got ready for the picture. Just before the photo clicked, Misaki Sensei pulled out Yako into the frame and said, "You too." How sweet was that? He really wanted her to be in the picture just like the rest of his students. After that, Hanako tries to wake up Nene-chan, and we see them back at school. Ko has turned into a cute plush toy because of the fight with Yako. It turns out that Yako is actually an Inari statue from a temple gate that has come to life. For some context, Inari statues are focus representations typically found at Shinto shrines dedicated to Inari, the god of prosperity, agriculture, and rice. They act as messengers and guardians at those shrines. Now that Yako is in her true form, Hanako asks her to say sorry, but Yaku doesn't have any of it. Hanako then threatens to cook her into kitsune udon. Renecha chimes in and asks what will happen to the students who end up as dolls. And Yaku explains that they will be back to normal by the morning since she's out of power, and they won't remember a thing. Noticing that Yaku seems a little down, Nene-chan hands her back the photo of Misaki-sensei. She tries to pet Yaku, but Yaku bites her hand and snaps at her not to touch her because she doesn't want to be friends. So, when Nene-chan tries to stand up, she finally lets herself relax, but suddenly feels super tired and has to lean against the wall to keep from tripping over. Hanako starts to worry and tells her, just stay like that. Then he gets closer, puts his arm above her head, leans in, and kisses her on the cheek. He smiles and says, that's your reward. It's a charm to help you feel better. After that, we see the Bacteria take off from Nene-chan and fly over to the boy she bumped into earlier. Jumped. He's headed to give the Bacteria to a girl with the green hair. Later, we found out this girl's name is Sakura, and she's one of the ones spreading the rumors over a special radio at school. It turns out that this Bacteria is actually the same ghostly orb that Hanako has, but it's black. And it seems to be her reporting everything that went down with Nene-chan. She just says, looks like it went well. I'm glad. Nene-chan starts to zone out, daydreaming about Prince praising her for being brave and for cleaning the bathrooms every day while facing off against scary ghosts. Just as this prince leans in to kiss her as a reward, Hanako pops up in her dream and asks if she wants that kiss. Nene-chan snaps back to reality in the middle of class shouting, no! And suddenly everyone is staring at her. During gardening practice, we get introduced to another character, Akane-kun. He's Aoi-chan's childhood friend, and he's been in love with her for as long as he can remember. Akane-kun is always trying to confess his feelings in different ways, and Aoi-chan gives him a score based on how well he does. After that kiss, Nene-chan starts to wonder if Hanako has feelings for her. She thinks back on many moments that might have made him like her. Curious, she goes to Aoi-chan for some advice, and Aoi-chan agrees that Hanako probably does like her. Like simple like that. She also shares a new rumor about the confession tree. According to that rumor, this tree was planted by a god of love, and if you confess your love to someone under it, you're guaranteed to become a couple. At the same time, we see Akane-kun practicing his confession to Aoi-chan under that same tree with his friend Yamabuki. They start to notice that a lot of their classmates were dating now, and without Aoi-chan pointing out that many of them got together after confessing beneath that tree. She also hints that Hanako might ask Nene-chan to come to that tree soon too. After class, Nene-chan heads off to do her duty, cleaning the toilets. To her surprise, Hanako brings up the confession tree and asks her to meet him there the next day. So, the next day, when Nene-chan gets to class, she's buzzing with excitement to tell Aoi-chan about Hanako's invitation. But when she walks in, there's this huge commotion. Turns out, Akaneko and Yamabuki are all lovey-dovey, talking about how after reversing their confession to Aoi-chan, under the tree, they realize they actually have feelings for each other and have decided to start dating. After school, Nene-chan's hopes are through the roof, thinking that Hanako might confess to her. She keeps telling herself he's not her type, but deep down, she's ready to accept his confession. When she finally arrives at the tree, Hanako is already there. He rushes up to her and says, Yashiro, I love you. Go out with me. Totally caught up in the moment and giddy, Nene-chan takes her sweet time to respond. Hanako leans in and whispers, what are you doing? Say you're sorry. Hurry up. This confuses her so much that she blurts out, I'm sorry. Then, out of nowhere, the spirit of Kodama shows up. And that's actually why there are so many couples at the school. This tree tries to attack Nene-chan, and that's when we realize the kiss Hanako gave her was actually a protective charm. It created a barrier that stopped Kodama from harming her. After they defeat Kodama, the tree shrinks down into a small bush with a face. Once Nene-chan learns that the whole confession was about an apparition, she feels a bit embarrassed for getting caught up on it. Hanako starts teasing her, saying she was let down because that wasn't a genuine confession. But then he notices she's actually crying out of embarrassment. Feeling bad about it, he rushes to stop her before she leaves the school, apologizes, and gives her a hug. The next day, Nene-chan is trying to do a compatibility reading with Hanako. She's asking him personal stuff like his real name, blood type, family structure, and even his date of birth. It hits her that she doesn't really know much about him, his past crime, or why he died, and she's eager to learn more. Me too. Hanako thinks her questions are a bit shady and doesn't want to answer. He suggests she should talk to someone she actually likes, like Teru Senpai. At that point, Nene-chan pipes up, saying she doesn't like Teru Senpai. She idolizes him instead. As she starts showering him with compliments, he suddenly appears behind her, having overheard everything. He thanks her, and she jumps in surprise when she realizes he was right behind her. Just then, Ko calls out, "Nee-chan!" like Big Brother, which makes Nene-chan even more startled when she figures out that they share the same last name. She had no idea they were siblings. After Toru-senpai introduces himself to Nene-chan, he gives Hanako a fierce glare and pulls Ko aside for a private chat. Toru-senpai reminds Ko that he's supposed to exorcise the Seven Wonders whenever he encounters them. But Ko starts to question whether all apparitions are bad, arguing that just because they are apparition doesn't mean they are all evil. He points out that Hanako has actually helped him and other students. Terusenpai gets a bit angry and insists there's no such a thing as good apparition. He tells Ko to keep his distance from now on, since he will handle things himself. However, Ko looks at him with those big puppy eyes, and Minamoto-senpai reluctantly gives him another chance. Nene-chan is at the library now, trying to dig up some information about Hanako. All she managed to find out is that Hanako's son, who's linked to the bathroom, was a girl who died there. Just then, a stunning girl with short green hair appears. It's Sakura, and she asks Nene-chan if she's interested in the Seven Wonders. Noticing Nene-chan is reading about Hanako-san, she brings up, "Oh, you mean Hanako-san? The cat-like kid, right? He's kinda willful, selfish, and needy, isn't he? Is he the same with you?" This makes Nene-chan wonder if Sakura knows Hanako. She reflects on whether Hanako has ever been needy towards her and starts daydreaming, imagining that maybe this girl is somehow Hanako's girlfriend. Sometimes I think that Nene-chan forgets Hanako is a ghost. Sakura then tells Nene-chan that if she really wants to learn more about Hanako, she should check out the fifth of the Seven Wonders. The rumor around this fifth wonder is the 4 o'clock library. It's a special place in the school library that you can only enter at 4 p.m. Inside are books with people's names, containing records of their time at school, both past and future. But anyone who wants to get there needs to be careful. The library has 3 types of books: white, black, and red. The white books are about living people, the black ones are about those who have passed away, and the red ones, well, those are the ones you should definitely avoid reading. We see Sakura and Natsuhiko talking, and she says, "I suppose we won't need to interfere." Suddenly, someone appears behind them who looks just like Hanako, wearing the same uniform. But this person's ghostly orbs are black. Who could that be? So that wraps up the first 5 episodes of Toilet-Bound Hanako-kun. What do you think about this anime? Have you checked it out? I'm completely hooked. I'm really loving the animation. The more I watch, the more I want to know, like, what's up with Hanako, who he killed, and how he ended up where he is now. I'd love to hear about your favorite part as well. So drop a comment below, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.